Okay, fine. So we are starting. Just let me know if my screen is visible to you. In this session, we will discuss how to understand the questions. I have taken the previous year question of UPSC itself so that we can understand the things better from the UPSC perspective itself and how to concentrate on the questions. This is one of the most important session. It might last for 20-25 minutes, and I want you guys to be participative in the same. Okay, don't make it one way lecture kind of thing, because if you do not practice right now, mark my words, you will not be able to utilize this session. And those who have been not able to attend, please do a watch recording as soon as I upload the same on the YouTube. Okay, at the same time, make sure that you schedule a call with me if you got any doubts, because if required, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I will complete all the calls, taking all of you on the Friday itself. Okay, and don't make this session one-sided. It's my direction, not a request to all of you. Okay, so first thing, always remember, whenever we talk about what to do when the question paper comes in my mind, always remember 2-3 things: that you should be well read. Okay, now since you are in the curiosity batch, you are just starting the preparation according to me. I'm not expecting you to be well read, but suppose if in upcoming weeks, I'll start giving you 1 questions per day. Okay, suppose this question comes from the modern history that you have read right now, and we are going to attempt this question from next week. So it's not like that you have to read whole modern history, but about this question. If this question suppose is about 1857, first war of independence, so you should just read about it. Okay, just Google it out, only the content that you have to write in the question paper. So this exercise about the daily answer writing practice in a guided manner. It's not about that you have to complete the first again the syllabus. Okay, first thing first. Okay, you should be well read. And when I say well read, since you are not into the mains mode, I am not expecting you to be and write each and everything, but about that question only. Fine. Second, this is the word I will use again and again in my sessions: calibration. So those who are from the science background, do you remember titration experiment? We used to calibrate our instruments, our apparatus from the exactly from the distilled water generally, so that their I will say impurities do not affect our results. So calibration is something when you have the content, you get the content by the reading, but whether this is meeting the demand of the question or not, you have to read again and again your questions while solving the question. So this I will say the calibration. Okay, so first thing, well read. Second, calibration. Now calibration means you have to answer the question with your content while addressing the demand of question. We will discuss it out in our later sessions as well. Don't you guys worry about it. Okay, so calibration is there. I will use this word calibration. I hope now the word is clear to you why I will use. Okay, now to calibrate the things, now we can not read the whole question 10 times in our attempt, but at least I will say before attempting, read the questions 2-3 times. While attempting, read at least 2 times. For the time being, it is for you, not for the mains appearing candidates. Don't you worry. Okay, 2 times. First, we have to ensure we are writing quality questions. चीजें अपने आप ठीक हो जाएंगी वहां पे आते ही. ठीक है, 2 times within the question. But these 2 times, how you have to utilize while attempting the question, you should focus on the keywords. So the keywords will help you in calibrating the things. Okay, now keywords you have to identify while reading these questions. When you just read now 2-3 times, I said before attempting the question, here you will identify keywords. Fine. Third thing that you have to answer while addressing or understanding the question, that what should be my structure. This is the most important part, where 10 to 50% of good candidate lose out. Suppose definition दिया है, पूछ लिया क्वेश्चन में, what are the semiconductors? What is new education? What is new in new education policy to 2020? Now, what are semiconductors? Simple define है. What is new in new education policy? In this question itself, there exist two questions. First, we will define the new education policy. Then what is new means you have to equate it with the previous one. Or what novelty, what new, what I will say extra USP point that this NEP comes up with, which is solving the present day problems. Now, new education policy, I'll just open your mind. New education policy. Now, three keywords are there within the question. New, I have already addressed this, related with the previous one. Education, solving the problem. Policy. So whenever we make policy, do we make it for 1 month or 2 months? No, a big no. We make it for years. Why after 1986 new education policy came right now? Why environment policy came? Why policies comes after 20-30 years? Because they are bound to come like that. We observe, see, what is the policy cycle? Those who are from the public administration background and the pol science background will be able to relate it better. For others, you are going to have a USP about it. Okay, so what you have to do in the policy format, first 5 years, you have just started the policy. Okay, you will just sensitize the people, you will try to set the apparatus, you will put the improvements wherever it is required. Okay, after those 5 years, next 10 years is the reality of that policy. Last 5 means second half ka jo last 5 years, 20th year, 15 to 20 year, there you will understand how this policy is performed. In the last 3 years, you will be ready with the new policy. Okay, 20 साल के बाद हमें ये changes लाने हैं. For example, Millennium Development Goals, Sustainable Development Goals. That is how things develop. Okay, so policy अपने आप में keyword था इस question में. That is how you have to understand. Okay, now structuring में when I was starting about the semiconductors, it needs 2-3 liner defined. When I said the first question itself, what is new in new education policy? This is the analysis. It might be because the new education policy defined, then what is new, then how it is going to solve future problems, then whatever the reason, how new education policy promotes scaling along with the education in the school system. Now you focus on that. Okay, so this way is structuring. Fourth, we will discuss in the later session separately, that is introduction and conclusion. For both of them, I will take, I guess, 2 or 3 sessions for each, which means 2 or 3 sessions for intro, 2 or 3 sessions for the conclusion. Then we will start our answer writing. Okay, so next some weeks are going to be very interesting for us, that I can assure. Fine. Now, I hope all these points are clear to all of you. If not, whatever questions you have, the stage is yours. Now ask the question, as I will move to the second part of my agenda. क्या बात है, no questions, इतना अच्छा समझा देता हूँ.
Sir, I have one question.
अरे question mark on my competence. चलो.
Sir, I didn't understand the third point, the structure in case of policies.
Okay, it's not about the policies. I said that I
like
gave you
that
two.
question,
Yeah.
which do not have a definite definition to introduce.
No. Okay, you did not get the point itself then. Perfectly fine. First question I gave you, what is semiconductor? Okay, semiconductor ke baad we will be having some question, how India can be pioneer and all. Okay, second part is there something. In second question, I gave you example, what is new in new education policy? Then again, there will be supplementary question within the questions as the main questions are. Okay.
Okay.
So when you will attempt the first question, what is semiconductor? You have to just address what is semiconductors. Means a 2-3 line is more than enough. In that structure, it demands only 2-3 lines. But in the case when I say what is new in new education policy, the same cannot be completed in the 2-3 lines because it itself have 2-3 keywords. New education policy. What is new in new education policy? So first you will address what is new.
Okay.
Okay. Before that, you have to address what is new education policy. Then you will
Okay.
address what is new by comparing it from the previous one.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay, then
Got
you
it.
will talk in for future as well, because this is about the policy, na? That is why it is new.
Yes.
Got it?
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you for asking. Don't hesitate. नहीं समझ में आ रहा तो ठीक है?
हेलो
So yeah.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है सर, जैसे सर आपने बताया कि मतलब एक क्वेश्चन दिया आपने, वी गो थ्रू मतलब उस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक को पढ़ा है ऑल, एंड देन फर्स्ट वी हैव टू फोकस ऑन क्वालिटी, सर आपने ये बोला। तो सर क्वालिटी पे फोकस करने में सर ऑब्वियसली थोड़ा सा टाइम लिमिट एक्सीड, मतलब जैसे 7 मिनट
I never said that you have to do it in time bound manner.
हाँ सर, वही मैं पूछना चाह रहा था कि मतलब वो क्योंकि सर इनिशियली मतलब 12-13 मिनट जाएगा ही जब क्वालिटी
1 घंटा जाएगा, 1 घंटा जाएगा लिखवा लो मेरे से।
ठीक है सर, हाँ वो पढ़ने और लिखने में सब चीज में सब जाएगा। ठीक है,
ठीक है। सो ये चारों पॉइंट्स आई होप यू हैव रिटन इन योर नोट्स, क्योंकि मेरी स्क्रीन ऊपर चली गई है। ठीक है। नाउ this is the thing that I want you guys to be participative. Just raise your hand so that Max can participate. First question, it is there. I'm not going to underline anything. Just raise who want to participate first. Just raise your hand. Okay, Karan, fastest finger first. Unmute करना पड़ेगा तभी पढ़ेगा क्वेश्चन।
Okay, sir. How will you explain that medieval Indian temple structures represent the social life of those days?
Okay, first wrong that you have done, एक साथ में पूरा क्वेश्चन पढ़ जाना, बेवकूफी की पहली निशानी। ठीक है, अरे डोंट टेक इट पर्सनली, लेकिन है तो कोई बात, ठीक है। जस्ट टेक अ पॉज wherever you, now I'm pointing out ना, wherever you feel that I have to take this pause, you just take the pause. अपना हैंड रेज करके रखो, क्योंकि इसको बोल के मैं सेकंड पर्सन को उठा लूंगा डायरेक्ट। डोंट यू वरी अबाउट इट। सिर्फ इसी से पार्टिसिपेशन नहीं करवाना, बाकी सबकी भी गलतियां बतानी है। ठीक है। करण, अभी आपके पास ही है।
Okay. How will you explain that medieval Indian temple structures represent the social
पॉज कहाँ
life?
लिया मुझे अभी भी समझ में नहीं आया। मैंने कहा रुक जाइए वहां पे।
How will you explain that medieval Indian temple structures represent the social life of those days?
दो पॉज आए, मेरे को बता दियो अगर सही पढ़ रहा है। पहला एक्सप्लेन पे, दूसरा स्कल्पचर्स पे, लास्ट में फिर तीसरे में कंप्लीट कर दिया क्वेश्चन। ठीक है, गुड। Pauses at right moment. Okay, fine. Next, Kavya.
Yes, first focus on the directive, that is explain.
Good.
Then medieval Indian temple sculptures,
Good.
medieval part.
Good.
Then how it represents that social life. These are the three keywords.
Fine. Good enough. So why I said that you have to pause. First you got the keyword when you paused here. Then you got here a pause. But Indian temple sculpture is common. As Kavya rightly pointed out, keyword should be here. Okay. So I did not ask the keyword to you. Don't you worry, but as she's the old student, so she knew how my mind works. So command, keyword, then go for the social life. These are the three keywords. So if you go back to our screen, we are well read. Now we have to calibrate our thought process with these three keywords. Then we have to structure. Intro, conclusion, we will talk later upon. Okay. Now as I said that we have to do structuring. Okay. Now you tell me what comes in your mind when I say structuring. कुछ भी है. What is the focus area for your introduction? I'm not asking you to tell me introduction. Focus area. अरे hand raise कर लो यार. At least you should be participative. I do not know how I will make sure. मैं ऐसे random name लूँगा फिर. Okay, Divyanshi.
Yes, sir. Question. So second number question.
मैं कह रहा हूँ इंट्रोडक्शन है. बस मुझे फोकस एरिया बता दो इंट्रोडक्शन का.
अच्छा, इंट्रोडक्शन का फोकस एरिया. ओके सर, एक तो इसमें हमें एक्सप्लेन करना है, तो इसीलिए सर हमारा जो फोकस रहेगा वो मेडिवल इंडिया पे रहेगा. मतलब सर दो तीन का मतलब एक कोई डेफिनेट इंट्रोडक्शन नहीं हो सकता इसमें.
हाँ, मैं फोकस एरिया बोल रहा हूँ.
फोकस एरिया सर जितना मुझे समझ आ रहा है वो ये समझ आ रहा है कि जो मेडिवल टाइम पे था, जितना मैंने पढ़ा था, तो जो टेम्पल्स हुआ करते थे वो हब हुआ करते थे सोशल लाइफ के. तो आई थिंक वो हम वहां से स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं कि सब कुछ वहीं से सीखने मिलता है.
गुड. गोपाल.
सर इंट्रोडक्शन में सर आप जो पूछ रहे हैं उसके हिसाब से सर मेडिवल इंडिया के स्कल्पचर्स का क्या इम्पैक्ट रहा था सोशल लाइफ पे सर. और अगर मेंशन करने की बात है तो सर डायनेस्टी वगैरह या फिर कुछ टेम्पल्स के नाम मेंशन कर सकते हैं.
Near about but not on the point I will say. ठीक है. Go Karan.
सर वो मिडीवल इंडियन टेम्पल का जो स्ट्रक्चर होगा आप थोड़ा उसको एक्सप्लेन करेंगे इंट्रोडक्शन में कि डोम्स वगैरह या फिर डेटीज होते हैं.
Just stop. What I'll suggest, Divyanshi was on point when I said that medieval Indian social life की बात हो रही है ना, तो you have to calibrate temple and life within that your introduction. That you will explain with in your answer. Calibration पे किसी ने ध्यान नहीं दिया I guess. Keywords तो हमने आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया था ना किन्हीं के टाइम पे बात करना. और इंट्रोडक्शन इज अबाउट द कैलिब्रेशन. वो इंट्रोडक्शन विल सेट द टोन ऑफ योर आंसर कि नीचे क्या आएगा. अभी मैं क्वेश्चंस पे डिस्कस नहीं करूंगा, मैं सिर्फ क्वेश्चन समझने पे डिस्कस करूंगा, तो आंसर्स पे मत जाओ. ठीक है. सो वी हैव टू जस्ट कैलिब्रेट इट. ओके, टेम्पल्स आर देयर. टेम्पल्स वर हब ऑफ इकोनॉमी लाइक सोशल लाइफ एंड अदर थिंग्स. व्हाट इज द इशू? व्हाट इज द रीजन? हाउ इट इंप्रूव्ड? गॉट इट? ठीक है. Now going to second question. Why did armies of British? मैं क्यों पढ़ रहा हूँ यार? Who is the next volunteer? बाकियों को रिएक्शन नहीं यार, कितना सारे तुम लोगों को थोड़ी करने हैं, बाकी भी 12 लोग हैं. So I will वंदना.
एक सेकंड. Why did the armies of British East India Company, mostly comprising of Indian soldiers, win consistently against the more numerous and better equipped armies of the then Indian rulers? Give reasons.
स्टॉपेज कहाँ लिया आपने?
एक सेकंड. वो ये हो सकता है थोड़ा जूम मेरे को थोड़ा. एक सेकंड. बस यहाँ पर लिया था एक तो स्टार्टिंग में कि जो यहाँ मोस्टली कंप्राइजिंग ऑफ इंडियन सोल्जर्स, जो ब्रिटिश आर्मीज थी. तो अभी मैंने ये पढ़ा ही है तो ये काफी मतलब थोड़ा फैमिलियर सा ही लग रहा है. मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री में ये सब पढ़ा ही है मैंने. तो क्वेश्चन.
ठीक है, आपने एक ही पॉज लिया है, आप ऐसा बोल रहे हो. मुझे सिर्फ वर्ड बोलो ना. मैंने एक इंडियन सोल्जर से पॉज लिया, नेक्स्ट पे लिया.
क्या?
मुझे सिर्फ अपने पॉजेस बता दो, आपने कहाँ लिए हैं.
अच्छा, यही एक तो इंडियन सोल्जर्स पे और फिर ये बाकी तो मैंने नहीं लिया यहीं पे. और गिव रीजन से पहले की रीजन से
बेवकूफी रिपीटेड आई विल से. ओके, नहीं करने हमें पॉज. हमें पता होना चाहिए कि हम क्यों ले रहे हैं. वी आर एक्चुअली आइडेंटिफाइंग कीवर्ड्स फ्रॉम आवर पॉजेस. ठीक है. Next person, Shriniza.
I think win consistently, there I will take a pause, sir. The entire sentence is going to be on. Why did the armies of British East India Company, mostly comprising of Indian soldiers, win consistently? And later, there I am going to take a pause. And again, against the more numerous and better equipped armies of the then Indian rulers.
Good. Now tell me the keywords. Your points are near the keywords only, na? So tell me the keywords.
British army consisting of Indian soldiers.
A keyword will be one word, na? Whole sentence thodi.
Consistently.
Okay. It will be a keyword, no doubt about it.
Better equipped armies, Indian rulers.
Good. Abhishek, keywords इस क्वेश्चन में.
सर एक तो सर ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी हो गई, एंड सर उसमें इंडियन सोल्जर्स क्यों थे, एंड उनका कंसिस्टेंट विनिंग बिकॉज ऑफ मोर न्यूमरस एंड अगेंस्ट द मोर न्यूमरस एंड रीजंस. सर मतलब कंसिस्टेंटली ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी कंप्राइजिंग ऑफ इंडियन सोल्जर्स एंड रीजंस.
थोड़ा कर. नहीं अभी बाकियों का भी नंबर लगना था. आई विल टेल यू. ओके, सबका एक एक बार हो जाने दो एटलीस्ट. आयुषी,
तो वाई भी तो एक कीवर्ड होगा.
मैंने कब मना किया? मैं तो पूछ रहा हूँ.
सर बिकॉज़ उसी से हम कंपेयर कर सकते हैं.
देन व्हाट?
देन व्हाट? राइट.
हाँ, तो अभी कीवर्ड्स और हैं इसमें, आई गेस.
रीजंस.
कमांड है. गुड. As Kavya pointed out, you cannot miss the command. If you do not understand the questions, कहानी देख के थोड़ी आनी है. From what you will calibrate. So within this question, now I will divide the questions. Okay. Within this question, consider that n number of keywords are being used. Why, as mentioned by Ayushi? Why did armies of BEIC, mostly comprising Indian soldiers, win consistently? ये actually, if you look, पहला question है. Even after having Indian soldiers, they are winning the battles. Okay. So if you look from the perspective versus Indian rulers, इसमें caveat क्या है? Indian soldiers. क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट क्या कह रहा है? इन दोनों में लड़ाई हुई, ये जीत गया. The BEIC won. Why? This question flow chart summarizes whole question. Clear? Then when it asks, he find against more numerous, यहाँ पे pointer सेट करूंगा मैं. Numerous, avoided by all of you, I guess. Means Britishers were Indian rulers were more numerous, equipped armies of Indian rulers. Clear? So it was not about the Indian rulers, rather than both the things. ठीक? Question पूछा है, give reasons. Now you have all the keywords कि सिर्फ इसके आसपास अपना आंसर घुमाना है. These are the words which I will use for calibration in my mind. इसके अलावा कुछ है ही नहीं क्वेश्चन में. ठीक है. Now I'll ask, what should be your start of your answer, like introduction?
सर EIC का सर मतलब
हैंड रेस करके ऐसे नहीं. मेरे को ये देखने दो, बाकी किसी ने अभी बात तक नहीं की है. So I have to take their name forcefully. Kriti,
Yes, sir.
Thanks for accepting my invitation to talk. Now you can continue.
The start of my question would be like, why did they win consistently? I would just address that.
How?
Because of their discipline.
Bingo. Fine. So good enough. The question is asking why. You have to answer the introduction as pointed out by the critic. Okay. So if you ask me the introduction, British East Indian Company comprising of Indian shoulders. Okay. This is the keyword. How I will utilize. Britishers utilized disciplined Indian soldiers, which played pivotal role in establishing British Empire in India that lasted for 200 years. I just gave you example of a very good introduction for this. क्योंकि सब कुछ अभी इंट्रोडक्शन में तो बताना नहीं है. डिसिप्लिन वाला पॉइंट उठाया. Now I know that I am going to talk about it.
Okay.
Now give reasons. So question solve नहीं करना. I hope question समझ में आ गया सबको. ठीक है. Okay, so again, let me say it. Since you guys are not speaking, so those who are left, I'll take on names directly. Okay, Baki, those who want to repeat, just let me force them to speak. Public speaking course BSc class में.
सर एक डाउट है पूछना सर.
हाँ बोलो.
सर जैसे सर प्रीति ने बताया कि वाई से स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं डिसिप्लिन वाला पॉइंट. सर मतलब ब्रिटिश इंडिया ईस्ट इंडिया का सर मोटिव और इंटेंशन क्या था यहाँ आने का सर. वहां उसका सिग्निफिकेंस दे के इंट्रोड्यूस करके सर फिर वाई एंड वो न्यूमरस बेटर ऐसा नहीं कर सकते.
बिल्कुल नहीं कर सकते. पूछा नहीं गया. From which word you are calibrating all this?
सर मतलब सर ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी का मतलब वो सर क्यों आए इंडिया में सर. अगर इस
where it is asked, I am telling you, asking you where it is asked.
सर नहीं वो डाउट था सर. मैं आपसे इसीलिए पूछ रहा हूं.
नहीं
जस्ट एक मन में.
अरे यार तो मैं मना थोड़ी कर रहा हूँ. मैं तो आपसे दोबारा क्वेश्चन कर रहा हूँ ये पूछा कहाँ है. एक्चुअली ये भी एक रीजन है मींस क्लियर ना होने का बच्चों का. दे मेंशन ऑल द इररिलेवेंट जस्ट बिकॉज़ दे नो. यू स्टॉप डूइंग कैलिब्रेशन इन योर एसे इन योर पेपर्स, यू स्टार्ट लूजिंग योर मार्क्स. किसी का डाउट हो तो मेरे से पूछ लो डायरेक्ट अभी, फिर आई विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. डाउट
आई हैव अ डाउट.
हाँ से
सो मैंने सोचा था शायद हम इसको ऐसे इंट्रो करेंगे कि मतलब बाय द बिगिनिंग ऑफ द 19th सेंचुरी ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी मतलब इंडिया के मैप को कंसोलिडेट करने में सक्सेसफुल हुई. क्योंकि सर मुझे लगा कि क्वेश्चन में उन्होंने पहले ही सब्सटैंशिएट कर.
This is the same thing that I said when I said lasted for 200 years. I talked about the establishment. You are talking about the same. So if you write in a good manner, it can be used. We are talking on the same theme. It's not like that we are talking on the different themes. So certainly this one can be utilized. Establishment, consolidation. We are talking about the empire itself. How soldiers are being used in that. Okay, why I said no to the Abhishek, the reason for the same was that he was trying to bring a new concept over there. Motives, which has not been asked anywhere. Fine. This is about the competition between the British East Indian Company and the Indian rulers. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
सर यहाँ पे कुछ एग्जामिन तो करना नहीं है. यहाँ पे सिर्फ
रीजंस
देने हैं सपोर्ट करने के लिए. ऑलरेडी स्टेटमेंट दिया हुआ है. तो सर ऐसे भी स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं जो उस टाइम के कंटेम्परेरी वॉर्स थे, लोकल वॉर्स थे, उनको एग्जांपल.
अगेन यू आर एग्जाम्प्लीफाइंग. सर्टेनली इट कैन वर्क. क्यों? क्योंकि अगेन वॉर की भी बात कर रहे हो अगर आप एक आधे से कि आगे कंटिन्यू करोगे सेम कैसे वॉर में सोल्जर्स ने प्ले किया रोल, कैसे एस्टेब्लिशमेंट में हेल्प किया. सर्टेनली इट कैन बी डन बिकॉज अगेन एज आई जस्ट टोल्ड दिव्यांशी कि अपन तीनों का थीम सेम है ना. एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ एम्पायर, एक्सपेंशन ऑफ एम्पायर या कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ एम्पायर. ठीक है, तो इट कैन बी डन.
हाँ, एग्जांपल देके सर उस टाइम के जो वॉर्स थे उसको आगे बढ़ाया जा सकता है ना.
इट कैन बी डन. लेकिन मैं बता रहा हूँ लिख के देख लियो, ये आसान नहीं है. इंट्रोडक्शन लिखना बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा.
देखते हैं सर।
ठीक है, फाइन। चलो लाची,
Yes, sir.
just read the question.
Why why was there a sudden spurt in a feminist in colonial India since the mid 18th century? Give reason.
कहाँ स्टॉप लिया आपने?
So why pay? Then colonial India, then mid 18th century, and the last is give reason.
Good enough. Keywords बताओ.
Keyword will be the first will be the feminist and the mid 18th century according to me. Okay. Command will be the reason.
ठीक है, तो good enough. ठीक है,
Thank you, sir.
so with this let's move ahead. Now since she has answered all the questions almost on the point itself, so question to who else is remaining? छोड़ूंगा तो किसी को नहीं. Sriniza, again
Yes,
I
sir.
guess you. What should be the start of the question?
Famine in
Hint,
how was famine?
hint. Okay, I am giving you hint. This time Shauravi, the theme that he tried to mention in the previous question. Okay, not theme, but the way he was trying to answer the previous question. The same logic will work here. I told him that it will be a long introduction, but here it will be a very apt.
Yes, sir.
Exemplification is the word. Chalo, ab batao.
I couldn't, sir.
Try na. When I say exemplification means introduction, you should use an example.
Okay. How the famine was?
Continue, yeah. Right track only.
Yes, sir. How bad the famine was, and
How was famine was correct. Now how bad. Don't put extra word. Just go with the famines that were present in which keyword you should use here?
18th century, mid 18th century.
Mid 18th century. You can quote one or two examples.
Examples of 1750s to 1800, like
Exactly. And where they were, you can bring out that. And Bengal, na? And
Yes.
from where did the Britishers started to establish their empire or say consolidation? 1757 war, 1764 war. कहाँ पे हुई थी दोनों?
Yes, sir. Buxar and Plassey, Bengal and Uttar Pradesh. Yeah.
Got it? So are
Yes,
you
sir.
able to relate what I want to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good try. Don't give up, yaar, Shrinaja. The thing is that I want to mention in my, don't give up. I will give n number of hints if required. Just don't give up. I cannot do it. I couldn't. I don't want to hear. Speak wrong. What more I will say? चलो बेवकूफी है और कुछ नहीं. तो इससे ज्यादा वो भी that in light sense, not कि हाँ तुम real बेवकूफ हो करण को छोड़ के. ठीक है, वो सबसे ज्यादा informal है मेरे से, तो सबसे ज्यादा बोल सकता हूँ मैं उसको. ठीक है, लांची.
So going to say the same thing only.
Okay, good enough. Chalo, then moving to the next question, not wasting time. Chalo, now the repetition is there. Karan, तेरे से next वाला पूछूंगा, तू हाथ मत खड़ा कर लियो. दिव्यांशु, you too. ठीक है, next वाला थोड़ा interesting question है. So, who, any other person? Else I will play the random name game. Simple question है, so who should? Kriti?
Yes, sir.
Describe the characteristics of types of primary rocks. कहाँ पे मैं रुकूं?
Describe the
Good.
characteristics
Good.
and primary rocks.
Good.
मतलब
Introduction.
Describe. Introduction would be explanation of what or definition of what are primary rocks.
One type. Okay, fine. What other can be introduction? अरे बोलो यार.
Rocks, okay. How rocks are formed, formation of rocks. So that will be going to be my introduction, that what are primary rocks. So primary rocks are formed by the mountain.
Taking again Shoreville's logic that he tried to use in that. Formation of rocks can be your introduction, how rocks are formed. Then example में primary rocks. Then primary rocks characteristics. You just look at the flow that how you're going to write this answer.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Next. Karan.
So discuss.
Good.
Meaning.
Good.
Color coded weather warnings.
Good.
Cyclone prone areas.
Good.
IMD.
Good. Introduction.
सर इसमें बता सकते हैं साइक्लोन्स कैसे बनते हैं, मतलब
हाँ इंट्रोडक्शन में बताएगा साइक्लोन्स कैसे बनते हैं.
साइक्लोन्स के टाइप, साइक्लोन होते क्या हैं
इंट्रोडक्शन में.
हाँ
सर. दिव्यांशी.
Sir, I think since they have asked us discuss the meaning, तो हम simply color coded weather warnings को define कर सकते हैं ना.
Stop. नहीं. काव्या, मैंने बोला ये इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है, इसलिए इतना इजी नहीं है.
So connect with the current affairs like cyclones data.
You stop. ये ठीक है, लेकिन you stop. Don't make complex things for them. Let them be at the level 1. Don't put them in level 3 directly. Okay. Ayushi.
तो IMD को पहले डिफाइन करेंगे कि उनका काम क्या है, देन फिर साइक्लोन प्रोन एरियाज, फिर आगे जा सकते हैं.
One way. Acceptable way, one way. Introduction can have n number of ways. This is one of the ways, not the best way or the worst way, but one way. Yes, Abhishek.
सर IMD का मतलब सर ये डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट में क्या रिलेशन है साइक्लोन से रिलेटेड, ऐसा इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं.
Second way, acceptable. Next person. Karan.
सर ये बता सकते हैं कि कौन से एरियाज में साइक्लोन्स आते हैं इंडिया में?
नहीं, वो बॉडी पार्ट में देखेंगे उसको. दिव्यांशी.
सर जो रिसेंट कोई डैमेज हुआ हो अगर साइक्लोन का, तो वहां से भी स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं कि क्या मतलब क्यों हमें जरूरत है.
Don't go on level 3. That's why I stopped इसको क्या कहते हैं काव्या को. ठीक है, मतलब both are acceptable, good, not bad. Okay. So when I say you are going on the level 3, when you relate to things that subject matter that has been asked in the question and the contemporary affairs, it is one of the best types of the introduction that you can have. So that's why when I asked Kavya to stop or Divanshi to stop, it was the reason that they are writing the good introduction. It is the thing that means clearing aspirants to the same. I'm not saying clearing, clearing. This means clear होता है, उसका introduction step का होता है. ठीक है, गुड. ओके, कोई बच्चा हो? शौर्यवीर हाथ खड़ा हुआ था शायद.
सर इसमें इंट्रो में ही आ सकता है कि व्हाट मेड इंडियन आईएमडी टू इशू सच कलर कोडेड वार्निंग्स.
अगेन यू आर रिलेटिंग इट टू द contemporary affairs. When I say contemporary, it means where static current affairs will be relevant. कि color coded आया ही क्यों है? You will be relating to some disaster only, as mentioned by them. So again a level 3 kind of good introduction. मजा आता है ऐसे मुझे, तुम लोग काम करते हो तो मजा आता है. लंची.
Sir, in this we can just write about the weather conditions that affect the cyclone prone area.
Good. This now always remember, keep it simple. किस formula जो होता है अपना best formula होता है. ठीक है. If you are stuck or you have less time to attempt the question, इतना सब दिमाग में नहीं आ रहा level 3 की जो मैं बातें कर रहा था, you can directly start कि what is cyclone, and for that you should know what are the conditions that create the cyclone. in the exemplification, and you can have then the diagram as well. Very good, Lanchi. ठीक है, चलो तो last question for the session I will say. पहले मैं देख लूं बचा कौन है. Those who haven't participated, इसमें तो लगभग सब नहीं. So I will start with Srinija and Vandana, then बाकी सब आ सकते हैं अपने आप हैंड रेज कर करके, है ना. Srinija.
Yes, sir. Discuss the natural resource potentials of Deccan Trap. So here keywords like discuss, natural resource, Deccan Trap.
गुड enough. पॉजेस भी ठीक जगह है और छोटा क्वेश्चन भी था. एक जो कीवर्ड आपने मिस कर दिया,
Potentials. Yeah.
when I say potential, what do you understand?
To
I'm
the
saying हाँ,
extent how they can be used.
how they can be
Potential.
used. Present as present or future.
Future.
जब तक ये क्लियर नहीं करेंगे आप क्वेश्चन में, मजा नहीं आएगा. ठीक है. So this should have been made clear.
Yes.
Okay. So try for the introduction. कैसे start करेंगे?
How Deccan Traps, the natural resources of Deccan Traps are formed.
What is Deccan Trap?
A volcanic eruption.
So don't you think it should be mentioned in the introduction itself?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So fine. So why I intervened over here? First of all, like I was short of time, so I have to complete the session on time. I have another class waiting for me within 30 minutes, and I have to prepare for the same, basically. So don't you worry, this is not the first and last session. Such kind of sessions will be there this week for sure. I will keep it short only, like 20-30 minutes, क्योंकि काफी brainstorming होता है. Potential means future. Whenever any technical term is there. Okay. Now, if you look, we will just, I will say, have a recap of all the questions that we tried to understand today. Deccan Trap, not so easy word. मतलब सुन के पढ़ के कुछ फैलना है, weird सा लग रहा है, क्या ये? First, explain the scene. Define the scene. IMD, color coded. Those who have said that, I will say why color coded was there, why MD was there, what is the mandate of MD. You are just simplifying the some complex features. Cyclone in itself a term, उसको भी हम define कर सकते थे. As I said, keep it simple वाला. We are just giving it as an example, simplifying it so that people, those who do not know, can even understand the same. And believe me, writing good introduction do not fetch you very good marks. But writing bad introduction certainly ensures you will get bad marks in your question. Okay, that's why your tone should be, answer of the tone should be very quick. Okay, don't waste much time. Nothing. Okay. Similarly, primary rocks, when I talk, why I talked about the rock formation. Primary rock is a keyword. It is a complex word. That's why a step backwards. First, usko bataya. Similarly, with the famines, mid-18th century, why Bengal, why that? Okay. इसमें ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. Medieval Indian temple structure, as we talked about. First, we should know ना कि medieval India में issue क्या है, life क्या है. That's why we have to relate it with the hub and all. Okay. So with this, I'll say if you got any questions, just let me know. Else I will switch off the recording. Then I will talk for 5-7 minutes. Then we will end this session.
So I have a question.
Yes, Devanshi.
So the last question which we have discussed, like you have said, we can describe the Deccan Trap first. And also you have given the example of potential. So can we use the example, the definition of potential resource as it is mentioned in the answer? No.
When I said the potential, what I meant, you have to answer in your body about the future. I did not mean that potential should be used in introduction itself. Okay. What else? Fine. So let me just